Greetings, viewers. My name is Biggcriddi The Hedgehog, and today's review is Spider-Man 2. After I recently reviewed the first Spider-Man movie, it's time to review the sequel. I'm not gonna lie, I love Spider-Man 2 a lot. I used to watch this movie as a kid and felt it was my all-time favorite sequel. And since I have been waiting to review this movie for a while, without further ado, let's get into the history bit. Spider-Man 2 was a 2004 Marvel movie directed by Sam Raimi. The sequel to the 2002 film was a massive hit, grossing $784 million at the box office. And it features a talented cast including Tobey Maguire, who reprises his role, Kirsten Dunst, and Alfred Molina, our new villain for the film, who plays Dr. Otto Octavius. The film was praised for its well-written script, character development, and epic action sequences. Critics also admired the film for its visual effects and the score composed by Danny Elfman. The movie ended up being a fan favorite and received many accolades. However, with all these pros, were there any cons? Well, the one thing that gets to me is the character of Mary Jane in this movie, but I am saving my true feelings for the next film. But the one problem I have with Mary Jane in this movie is that she's depicted as an emotional, needy, one-dimensional character. Combine that with her actions and decisions is very frustrating. In the previous film, she was more likable, whereas here, she acts like an adorable little puppy that you love at first but wish she wasn't around anymore. That is unacceptable. But maybe I'm being a little too hard on Mary Jane right now for this movie in this case. So let's take a look at Spider-Man 2 and take a trip down memory lane where I didn't hate this movie because of that small inconvenience. Peter Parker, once again played by Tobey Maguire, struggles to keep a job and be on time for class because he's always late due to his Spider-Man life. When Harry, once again played by James Franco, introduces him to Dr. Otto Octavius, played by Alfred Molina, who is developing a new solar fusion reactor. However, during his demonstration, he also shows off a preview invention. He invented 4 metal arms controlled by an inhibitor chip connected to his spine. Once he starts the machine, it goes haywire and causes his wife Rosie, played by Donna Murphy, to get killed in the process. Octavius is then rushed to the hospital when right when the doctors are about to start operating on him, the arms start moving by themselves, killing and attacking all the doctors in the most hilarious ways. Octavius then awakens to seeing all the doctors had already been killed, even though it's surprising he was still unconscious through the whole thing. He then goes to an abandoned warehouse where the arms start to control him as he vows to remake the machine and destroy humanity. So his first step is to steal money from the bank, as Peter and Aunt May are currently in. So he quickly comes out as Spider-Man a few seconds later and starts to fight Octavius. However, Spider-Man is not able to shoot his webs correctly. The fight continues until Octavius snatches up Aunt May, taking the fight to the side of the building. Eventually, after a brief struggle, Octavius escapes and Spider-Man manages to save Aunt May at the same time. Okay guys, it's time to put the review on hold and talk about the relationship between Mary Jane and Peter. As I said before, I am saving my true feelings for the next film. People tend to overlook the levels of their relationship. Still, I won't condone Mary Jane's actions in these two sequels, nor will I with Peter. But there are layers to their relationship. Now, put on your nerd glasses and let's begin. In the original, Mary Jane's relationship with Peter is more realistic. Their connections develop naturally and their interactions felt organic and relatable. Take this scene from the original film for example. After Peter saves Mary Jane from some robbers in the rain, he quickly hides to put on his mask. But once he appears upside down as Spider-Man, the two share a moment of exchanging tender words and then have a passionate kiss. The scene symbolizes their deep connection and the trust they have in each other, which makes the original very special. On the other hand, in this film, their relationship took on a more forced and rushed tone. Mary Jane acts needy and demanding, which clashes with Peter's internal struggles. This scene fits perfectly for this example. Mary Jane confronts Peter, testing his feelings. Peter struggles to be honest, showing his internal conflict. So she asks him if he loves her, and he tells her he doesn't. However, Mary Jane smells bullshit, so she asks him to kiss her, to prove to her that he doesn't. I didn't like how forced and rushed this was. It's like they completely forgot about the original formula of the original film, and as a result, the overall dynamic between them seemed less compelling and left me underwhelmed. Alright, let's get back to the review. With his invention almost complete, Octavius still needs one last component to start the machine, so he goes to Harry's place. Harry makes a deal with Otto that in reward for Spider-Man's capture, he would give him his last component. So the next day, right after Mary Jane tries to kiss Peter, his spider sense goes off as a car comes through the window. Peter manages to save Mary Jane from getting hit as Octavius pulls up, raises hell, steals Mary Jane, and leaves. So he becomes Spider-Man once more to face Octavius. They fight for a long while, even to the point where his costume starts getting messed up. But mostly, I like this scene right here. Their battle drags on for a little longer until Octavius has had enough. He pulls the brakes off the train and then leaves. Peter's mask gets damaged, so his spider sense shows him the train is heading off the line. So he quickly uses a lot of his webs to stop the train from running off the tracks. After he saves the people and they thank him appropriately, which I actually felt was heartwarming, Octavius then returns, knocking Spider-Man out and returning to Harry's place with him. As Octavius leaves with the last component, Harry decides that now is the time to kill Spider-Man because he still thinks he was the one that killed his father. However, when Harry removes the mask, it reveals to be Peter to Harry's shock. Peter then tells Harry to tell him where he is so that he can stop him and save Mary Jane. Once Harry tells Peter where Octavius is, back at the abandoned warehouse, Octavius is planning to set up the machine. Peter attempts to sneak into the warehouse to save Mary Jane, but it doesn't go very well. As the finale fight gets underway, Mary Jane is almost killed by the fusion reactor. Once Spider-Man saves her, Octavius quickly knocks him out. When Mary Jane sees this, she tries to step in, but gets swatted away. However, Peter manages to subdue Octavius long enough to stop the machine. Unfortunately, the machine starts growing out of control, so Peter tries to convince Octavius to shut the machine down. He even goes the extra mile by taking off his mask so his secret identity could be revealed. But for me, it's what Peter says to Octavius to convince him to stop the machine for me. Octavius then goes to stop the machine when Mary Jane sees Peter's face, Peter then has to save her from being crushed under debris. As Octavius sacrifices himself to stop the machine, Peter saves Mary Jane, but Octavius doesn't get out lucky. In the end, Peter tells Mary Jane that they can't be together because of him being Spider-Man. It would be too dangerous to have someone close in his life. However, the next day, Mary Jane gets married to J. Jonah Jameson's son, but she completely stands him up at the altar to be with Peter. And as she's standing in his doorway, she tells Peter whatever challenges come with him being Spider-Man, she would face them with him. But I want you guys to hear exactly how she tells Peter this information.
I know there will be risks, but I want to face them with you. It's wrong that we should only be half alive, half of ourselves. I love you.
Ooh, some of you are gonna hate me in the next review, I promise you that. But anyways, the movie ends with Peter swinging around the city and Mary Jane looking out the window with dread on her face as the day was saved. The end. Alright, let's get to the results of the movie. The movie was a worthy sequel. The action sequences were great. I love Alfred Molina as Otto Octavius. He played his role extremely well. However, the subplots went nowhere in this film, and there's still the issue with the relationship between Mary Jane and Peter. But don't worry, it gets worse in the third film, and we'll be taking a look at that next time. But with that, thank you all for watching. My name is Biggcriddi The Hedgehog. We'll see you next time.